I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
Alright, welcome back everyone. I am the Dungeon Master and this is Dragons of War. We are rejoining the party as they were headed from their little camp out on the hill back down towards Brotnibad in order to intercept and defend the town against the raiding goblin and orc horde. And so you guys had headed back and come across the army once again, and so you just made a mad dash back to the town. And once there, uh, you come running up to the town walls, and I'm gonna pull that up for you. You can see some wooden walls uh, surrounding a very small, quiet little village, and there are not many defenders. There's like one guy up on the tower, and then another just down by the gate there, and um, so you guys, come running up the road at a full clip, and you encounter these men as they're standing there with their axes and shields, just um, I wouldn't even say at the ready, would probably be, too much. They're just kind of lazily doing their jobs.
Goblins are coming. The goblins are coming.
Eh?
What have you been doing?
What? What's up? What?
There's a horde of goblins that are going to attack this town. We're here to help defend it.
Hey, goblins.
Yes.
This far in?
Uh-huh. And if you don't believe us, we have scars to prove it.
Well, this is the DM, not the guy. I mean, you can get scars from anywhere, but you know, it's
You get the picture.
yes. You show him, your wounds, and say that you just fought with them, and the guard, looks at you guys and recognizes Gorakul, and is like, oh, well, I mean, you live here, so I'm apt to believe you, but I'm gonna need one of you to roll for persuasion to see, whether I buy it hook, line, and sinker, or whether I'm skeptical.
At this point, Pesci steps forward and he says, yes, the little, he makes a little allusion for this, and he says, they look kind of like this. And his hand, he palm out, he kind of makes a picture of the two-headed orc that they fought.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are coming. This is what we saw, like, literally yesterday. We ran all night to get here. We're very tired, so, please raise the alarm, gather the militia up, and prepare for an attack, because they're coming.
Yeah, and obviously Pesky is very convincing with, or that was Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy
Sorry,
did.
I roll. You said
I heard Pesci start to monologue and saw the roll and just automatically assumed that he had just rolled right away before he started
Oh, Pesci's not persuasive anyway, so let's just let Lucy.
So Pesci
Lucy cuts
steps
me off.
forward. Pesci steps forward and begins to talk, and the guard, sees his size and decides that, you don't look like much of a warrior, and you got this elf maid in a dress, and you've got a bugbear with you who is all of that. So actually you might be like trying to trick them into letting you guys inside so that you can open the gates. So now that I think about it, Gorakul, you're going to have to come back later without all these monsters with you, because you're...
Can I say something since I'm persuasive, supposedly?
Yeah, except
I just
for
figured you cut me off, is what I figured.
Pesci had already stepped forward and started, speaking, and so the roll was just for his, overall result.
I have
Nora.
some very simple words to say.
Yeah,
If we do not start defending the city now, we will all die.
right, and that's a very good thing.
And Gorakul is just sort of saying, sort of persuading the towns that they aren't monsters, that they are allies.
Right. The problem is that once Pesci did his monologue, the roll was for the
That's
result.
terrible.
So the result is already rolled. Now it stinks. I get it, because Lucy
Can I
had rolled and
use-
rolled really well. But that's the ups and downs of role playing, is that you can, jump in and role play and do everything, and it's great. But we still have to roll the dice and see what the results are. And so that's why typically what I like to do as the DM when I'm rolling for NPCs is I'll roll the result first, and then I know, how to, word it and swing it to where if they're not very persuasive, I can, have them say this, and if they are very persuasive, then, something else can happen. And I get
So
that
our
the
rules can't adjust it in any way.
no, because the natural instinct, I get it, is to like try to be like, oh, Pesci didn't succeed. Let's try to, find a way to fix that. But Pesci has already not succeeded, so we
Yes, but
can't.
I rolled before
It's all right.
Pesci.
It's all good. It's all good.
Even started.
We will leave
Whatever.
Goracool here to negotiate entry into the thing.
No, I think at this point, Pesci's extremely frustrated, and he just says, "You know what? No, let them fend for themselves. We have better things to do at this point," and starts walking off.
Yeah, that's a perfectly reasonable reaction to that. And then just real quick,
We brought them the message of
just-
an impending doom. Let's
just-
save ourselves.
just to put a final, pin in everything so that you guys can understand exactly how this ruling works here. Once Pesci started doing the role playing of the monologuing and everything, if you guys wanted to interrupt him, that was your time to interrupt him.
Good.
Well,
That's-
All good.
So,
Okay.
None of my words have given you any reason to interrupt me. I made a very good point. It's just that the guards do not trust me by nature of what I am.
Yep.
So therefore, they completely, because I am here and present, they don't trust the group.
And Zarash didn't help, which, again, it all just comes down to the fact that you rolled a 3, and so that just shaded and flavored all of the, things that the guard was going to end up feeling
Okay,
about you
so-
guys.
So at this point, we're all walking away with Pesci. And I think Goracool, what are you doing? You staying behind? You come with us.
Goracool is just sort of frustrated at this point and says, "We're trying to save your lives!"
And the guard, is like, yeah, then why'd you come with that monster?
He's not with those things.
I'm a human being. Oh, now who's got that reference?
What?
Um,
I didn't hear that. What did you say?
I'm not a monster. I'm a human being.
Oh,
Okay. That doesn't. I assume that's not particularly effective. Let's go, guys.
so as you guys, are walking away, you remember that you had just been running full speed here in order to beat a goblin horde that is marching down the road as we speak.
so this is the wrong way to go. We need to go around the town to get out of here.
I second that.
So, how much money do I have on me?
Is there another way in besides the main entryway?
Is there another way into the town? Is there another person that we can talk to?
Goracool, you should roll a intelligence check to see if you know about another entrance to the town. I don't know. The dice just are not cooperating today.
The dice are very much this town must burn.
The dice are deciding that I'm gonna have to hold true to my. I don't have any NPCs who aren't just jerks, and this town is gonna have to suffer the wrath of the goblins for it.
All right. Well, I mean, folks, we did try. We brought the message here. We offered our assistance. They've obviously rejected our assistance.
What?
And I have a perfectly valid song now or play rather, of the town that rejected the truth and died to a horde of goblins and orcs. So I'm satisfied with this adventure. Let's move on.
That'll make a good children's story. You need good morals.
Yeah. It's a tale of how if you turn away, the help that you need, then you get a song written about you after you burn.
Yep. Willing help that wasn't offered for a price.
I
Now,
feel like our main
bear
problem,
bear in
Our
mind
main-
that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
our main problem here is that we need someplace to rest. Go on you! Like at a certain point, it doesn't really matter if they want our help or not. The reason that we came directly here instead of going to another city to rest first is because we were like, oh, we don't have enough time to rest and protect the city. So we have to figure out where we're going to be able to go and where we're going to be able to run to because we just done all of this exertion on ourselves to be able to rest and do something. If we can't find a way into the town, we have to figure out what's going to happen next because we can't just sit outside the town as a horde is about to kill us.
Okay.
That is a very. Oh, hold on. That is a very, very good point. And then the only thing that I would like to also add is that Gorakul, you would know that this guy, I just pulled up my name generator and got the name Kietil. So, Kietil here, he's not in charge. He's just the guy who's watching the gate. So you don't have to just completely abandon the town just as of yet, just because Kietil's being a bit of a jerk. Though I'm not saying that you can't just, walk away either. That's a perfectly reasonable response. Certainly Pesci walking somewhat of the way away is absolutely what he would do in that instance, being offended and all of that. But so, the point about you guys need to rest, and then also Gorakul, you would know that Kietil here is not the guy who gets to decide whether or not the town accepts your help or prepares for battle or what,
So, question.
It's the guy who's at the gate though, and we can't get in without him letting us.
Gorakul sort of tells everyone about the sort of tells them about the fact that this guy isn't really the head of anything and just is sort of is not really in any position to influence us.
Is there another guard? I have something I could use.
How about
to assist us? Sorry, continue, Rhombus.
How about we walk around the town, because we have to go that way anyways, and see if we can find another gate. And if we do, we can ask that gate to help instead of the one we just came from.
Okay. DM, is there another guard at this gate?
There's the guy up in the tower.
Okay. I have something I can use. Is he within 30 feet of me?
No.
No? Can he be within 30 feet of me?
Yes.
How close to the gate do I have to get for him to be within 30 feet of me?
You have to walk away from the gate, which you already are, and then walk over to the side there. Can you not see the map?
I don't see where we are on the map.
Well, by the gate.
Okay, there's only the one gate, it looks like. So I don't see the character icon.
This, yeah, I didn't put everybody on the.
Okay.
This is just to give you a visual representation of what you're looking at. We're not going to be having combat right here, so this is just to show you. Yes, that's the gate.
Okay.
This is just to show you, and that's the tower, correct?
Okay.
This is just to show you, the basic scenery of what you're looking at: the pine trees, the wooden shingled houses, the smoke rising from the chimneys because it's always a little chilly here in the north, the dirt road because this is not a big city, the wooden walls because it's not a big city, just give you the general idea of what you're looking at so that you can visualize it. And then the guard, Kietil, he's just a big dumb oaf standing there because he's good at swinging an axe. So if somebody comes up looking for trouble, he's the guy that they want on
Okay.
point.
Gotcha. So, all right, party. I have a spell called Suggestion. My idea is to get within 30 feet of this other guard and plant the suggestion into this other guard because he can obviously hear us. We're being very loud and obnoxious and annoyed about this. Plant the idea into his mind that, hey, Kettle is dumb. And if there is orcs coming through, then this town being destroyed because Kettle didn't raise the alarm is not going to be good. So I'm going to get someone to override him. Is the party cool with that?
Eh,
Cool.
Sure.
since we have to get through
Yep. Go with it.
Axe McGrubbins.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now in
Hold-
character.
Hold on 1 second, Pesci. You may have your third and final point of inspiration for that.
Okay. So in character, thank you, DM. Pesci gets close to the other guard tower and is motioning the other party over as he's being vocal about this impending doom of army of goblins and orcs that are coming here. And as the party gets over here, he kind of raises his voice a little bit more and makes it known, assuming that he also knows the name Kettle. Does he know Kettle's name?
No,
Kettle's
because
name.
you're not from here, so
No.
yes, Kettle.
But did Karakul share this name with me?
Well, he could,
Yes.
that's
Okay.
up to Hazard. So Gorakul,
Yeah,
did you?
he did.
Okay. So Pesci purposely mangles Kettle's name to Kettle because he's not being because he's rude and looked down to him, and uses suggestion to plant into the other guard's mind that Kettle is just good for swinging an axe. Obviously doesn't know anything about defending the town. He needs to get someone who knows how to defend the town to review this information ASAP. Because this group of people obviously ran here full tilt and ran from something.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a saving throw for your suggestion versus what difficulty class?
So it's a Wisdom DC 12. So I guess my saving DC is still
Yeah, that's not right. Let's
2.
take a look at that.
I don't know why it's 12.
You should be getting your proficiency to that as well. So let me take a look at that.
Yeah, it should be. Isn't it 8 plus 2 plus 2?
Oh, yep, that's right, because it's not 10, it's 8 plus 2 plus 2. Yep.
Okay.
So it is 12. All right.
That's a little disconcerting, but I will use my.
Hold on. But just because the suggestion didn't work, he is going to roll his wisdom now in order to see whether or not he just knows that you're just right anyway. Wow. That is so lucky that did not count as the roll.
Oh, because I also have cutting words that I was going to use on his DC.
All right. So, the guard rolls a natural 20 and realizes instantly that you're 100% right. You guys are sweating, having run here. And despite the fact that Zarash is indeed a bugbear, he recognizes Ryan from some of his, other friends and whatnot that were at the other village that he saved. And so he blows his horn, instantly summoning the militias of men to like come and find out what's going on, and tells Kettlehead to let you guys in, and Kettle tries to argue a little bit, but he's not in charge, so he lets you guys in.
Pesci bites his tongue to hold back from making, from using any sort of cutting words or
Gorakul
vicious
just sort of-
mockery.
Yeah.
Gorakul just sort of nods, sort of satisfied at this, and says, "Good, good, good."
So now you guys are inside the village, inside the walls, where you see more of the simple buildings, a town well, trees here and there, more of the same, dirt roads, paths really, leading between the different buildings. And now that the horns have been blown, the town itself has, come alive, and people are milling about the streets, like trying to figure out what's going on, and warriors are grabbing their weapons, and men and women are arming themselves, preparing for battle as the not panic, but alarm goes out across the town, letting everybody know to, prepare for whatever is coming, and everybody starts to gather what information they can. As you guys make your way towards the center, you finally see the captain of what would be the militia, and he is giving out orders to everybody to like find out what's going on. His name is Njal Strikerson, Njal, and he is a older but very capable warrior.
All right. Who's going to talk to Mr. Strikerson?
Gorakul,
Pesci knows
Gorakul-
nothing about tactics.
Potluck, just for the fun of
He motions to either Zerash or Garakul or Scout, if Scout is present, to explain the situation.
You're Lucy. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, and yes, Scout can absolutely have caught up with you guys on the road.
I'm in trouble.
Well, that changes a lot of things then.
Yeah, Gorakul sort of like.
I
Sort of-
forgot that you weren't with them at first.
Yeah,
Well, Scout, why don't you explain what you saw, and Garakul can explain the consistency of the
Yeah.
troops.
I'll be the ones with the. I'll be the voice of reason.
Okay, real quick though, we do need to cover Scout. After the party fails to meet you, you double back around to go track them down and find them on the road as they are running from a goblin horde. So we'll cover Scout rejoining you guys before you made it to the town real quick here.
Well, that wouldn't be so bad because he's already aware of the Goblin Horde. Was this the direction that he saw them going, or is this a new army?
This is the direction you saw them going.
Okay, work with that. So, Scout's gonna approach Strikerson.
Oh, hold on. We're doing you catching up with the party real quick. In case you have anything that you need to cover about, like, what's going on and all of that.
I mean, I can pick up right from here if we want.
Okay, good. Yeah, then we can flash past this. I just wanted to make sure because you said that changes everything in case there was information that you needed to convey first or something.
No, it changes everything as far as what the party was trying to accomplish with the town.
Sure.
So, yes, she's going to approach Strikerson with Gorakul. He's going to actually use his military rank and explain about the goblin force, its number and size, and it's approximately, if I was catching up on everything, about a half a day to a day out.
Oh, no, it's like gonna be here within the hour.
Okay, so yes, he's going to use his military rank just to gain authority and influence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Nyal.
Gorak will be like the sort of voice of like of what exactly of like sort of the inner workings of why exactly these goblins are attacking, like sort of explaining the situation.
Nyal cuts you off and says, "We don't care why the goblins are attacking. We're just gonna defend our city."
Apologies. I just like to explain the truth and nothing but the truth.
The truth is that this is our village, and if we let the goblins take our food and supplies, we won't have any, and so it's a fight for survival. And if they come here, they'll meet nothing but the cold steel of my axe.
And they will.
Captain
I personally know
Strikerson,
your fighting ability.
would you like this adventurous group's assistance in defending your village?
Well, if the force is as large and dangerous as you say, then we're going to need every, body that we can get to try and help us. So I guess, I have no choice but to, accept your help and expertise. Obviously, Scout, you are knowledged in the ways of battle, and so your help will be most valuable. But I don't know if I trust your companion there, and he casts an eye at Zarash. These guys have fought a lot of bugbears and orcs and goblins, and so to see one of them in their walls is quite a shock for them.
Well, if you can trust myself, then you can trust my companions.
A happy, friendly bugbear.
At least in the time being.
Ah, yes, the transitive properties of trust.
We really appreciate people who learn Hebrew.
Now, is it
go ahead.
possible to get a quiver of arrows since I am running low, and maybe allow my my friends here to get some food and drink before the fight?
And if there is any need of medical assistance, I shall certainly be helping with that.
Well, I mean, nobody needs medical assistance right now. We haven't started fighting yet. But as far as food and drink, like, you guys can go do whatever you want, but I thought you were helping, and since we don't have any time, we're gonna like go get to work right now. So nope, we're not gonna be eating. The other question was
Quiver of arrows?
Oh, quiver of arrows. Yes. There is shields and arrows available for the people who need them.
Can I fill up my quiver there, DM?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Gorakul will sort of like during our and we'll sort of prepare a sort of healing tent for the troops.
Okay. So now, where do they want us to go? Where do they want us to stand? They have a plan?
Yeah. But
It's supposed to fill our arrows, right?
Gorakul, what do you mean when you say you're setting up a healer's tent?
Like some sort of place for when the battle starts and they are injured, they can heal here.
You realize that if you're doing that, then you won't be part of the battle.
Oh, so I shouldn't do that.
Well, it's great to do that. And it's really great role play. It's really great like flavor to the world and story and all of that. And if it fits your character and you're happy doing that, then I in no way, shape, or form want you to feel like you shouldn't do that. But because you are playing a game, I want to point out to you that as a player, if your character goes off from the battle in order to do the healing, then they won't really be a part of the battle.
That's what I was worried about. So
at this point, all of us have all the supplies that we need. There's no other additional thing that we need to grab.
Well, we'll see about that as soon as we get the plan laid out. I just wanted to, before I laid out the plan, make sure that what you guys individually want to do is accounted for there. So if Gorakul does actually want to go do the healer's tent, that's fine. I just need to account for that in this plan.
I'm just if I'm just sort of giving blessings to the warriors.
Sure. Absolutely.
Like that won't take as much time, and then I'll be able to battle.
Sure. And
Zarash.
The blessing of the stars.
Hey, Zarash.
Yes.
I picked up a spear on my travels. Here, have another spear.
I love it. That's definitely a good point that you're making there.
ha.
Point.
Pesci will. Let's see.
Can I punch Zarash on the shoulder because of that crappy pun?
Probably not, since you're 3.5 feet tall and he's 6.5.
No, I'm a happy bugbear. I'm a happy bugbear today. I will battle. Yes, I will accept the joshing of the other smaller characters around me.
I leap
no,
3 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And just deck him.
I was gonna say you could punch him. I'm just saying the shoulder's probably a little high.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I reach for the shoulder and end up hitting him in the side.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Pesci. There's nothing I can really do to help with deception in this at all. Hey, let's set up a feint here or a trap here so that way the goblins will try to attack here and.
Oh yeah, I'm getting to that. Don't worry.
Okay.
I've got you guys covered because I needed a map that would work, and so if I was waiting for you guys to formulate your exact plan, then I'd have to figure out a map that would work for that. Whereas if I have Nyal here assign you to a place, then I can control what map you use. So that's what I decided I was going to do. So Nyal does have a plan. I just wanted to make sure, like I said, that everybody else was accounted for in there in case you had something individually that you really wanted to accomplish. But basically what it comes down to is Nyal is going to commit most of his forces to the front gate in order to battle the bulk of the goblins that are going to be trying to batter into the main entrance there. But having fought goblins before, he knows that they probably have a force that will be sneaking around, not only raiding and pillaging the farms outside of the walls, but trying to get in through the back gate where there will be less forces, and if they have, snipers and assassins and whatnot that can take out the guards, then they can open the back gate and ambush everybody from behind, and it'll be really bad. So he needs you guys to go and defend this little bridge by one of the farms, where if you can hold this bridge right here, then their path to the other gate will be blocked. And so all you guys need to do is hold this bridge for as long as you can until they either overrun the main gate and the battle is lost, or the battle is won and you guys stand victorious. So that is what Niall would like you to do.
Okay. We will do
Okay.
that.
Understood.
Map is black.
It should be
Of
coming.
course.
Okay.
And of course, Gorakul's still going to do the whole, like, giving blessings to the frontline warriors.
Yeah, most of them are like rejecting your advances, as they have their gods that they worship, and so they are very particular about not showing disrespect to the gods.
Even though I'm sort of like one the sort of god of the stars.
Yeah, but that's not their gods.
Ah, okay. So Gorakul says, sort of nods and decides to give his blessing to Zerash.
Take the blessing. Because, I'm a friendly bugbear who likes being blessed. God bless me. I sneezed.
Alright, so now you guys should be able to see most of the map.
Wait, that's where's the
Where's the bridge? Where's the confounded bridge? How to do that? Got it.
And don't forget about Spidey Slayer and Rayon.
Play Led Zeppelin during the battle? That's really what I want to know.
Oh, who'd you give bless to?
Gora.
Me! I got blessed!
To Zerash.
Bless can target 3.
I was doing Vigilant Blessing. And I can.
Oh, not the spell. Okay.
What are these dark lines that...
Damn, the DM just straight killed Spidey Slayer right there.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. There we go. He's
The dark lines is the vision you can't see.
I still can't see the map.
Aren't you a blind monk? You'll be fine.
He keeps saying he's dying, but
Can everybody see the map?
Yeah.
No, it's just black for me.
I can see it.
Sometimes it's a really long time to load.
Yeah, I can see it.
Check. Gabriel, check your mother.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just let it sit for a bit.
DM, I'm going to assume the side that you put us on is the town side of the bridge.
yes.
How much time do we have to prepare for this? Like, can we set up some traps or anything?
You don't have a lot of time, but what are you thinking?
Oh, like a pitfall or something.
Like, how big of one?
That's my question to you. How big of one can we make in the amount of time we have?
Well, that's what I'm kind of like getting at, is that you don't have a whole lot of time. So, like, I've dug some holes in my time, and let me assure you, like, they don't get big fast. You know,
Yeah.
like it takes a lot of digging to get any kind of significant hole. So you might be able to get, I don't know, maybe like a 5 foot hole. I mean, really, I don't see much more than that, considering you had about an hour, you know, and even if I said that there was enough shovels for everybody to have one, you can only work, you know, so much of the ground at a time, you know, to begin with anyway. So,
Gotcha.
you know,
So let's
you might be able to get a wide. Oh, go ahead.
no. So let's figure out where we want to set up here. I
Yeah,
think
you guys can go ahead and move around the map.
the arrows and the archers. Anybody who can fire something or throw a spell should probably try to get behind the wall somehow or behind the tree.
Well, they're going to be coming down the road, right?
Is there any way to like refresh the image because it's still not showing anything for me?
Yeah, they're coming from that direction.
Yes, sir.
I could set up a minor illusion to force them to go a slightly different direction. It won't last very long, though. It only lasts for like a minute. So,
DM.
Yeah, I
Oh, sorry.
somehow forgot to add you to the map.
Oh, that would make sense. There we go. Okay. Oh, perfect.
Elodie was saying something.
I was just saying, so like, is the river something that they would be able to like run across if they wanted to, or is it like deep enough that you have to go over the bridge?
Yeah, the bridge is the choke point that you guys have to hold.
Okay. So then we should probably just put like Zarash in the front of the bridge and then kind of pile up behind him and be able to do stuff, right?
Right, but I think that the people who have arrows and spells have to try to, hide a little bit, give themselves a little bit of cover, right? So behind trees or behind, bushes or whatever you can do.
there's a kobold here, right? Does the kobold have any suggestions of something that we could set up really quick?
So this tree happens to be on the friendly side of the bank. Should give at least some cover, and it's less than 80 feet distance from the bridge, so there shouldn't be too many arrows being shot around and over our own team.
I'm liking this small person who comes with me to the front of the line.
And then
By any
to answer your question, the Bitey Slayer kobold is very good at traps, because kobolds, make all kinds of traps, and he says that your best bet would be to cut the timbers of the bridge so that you can knock out the supports if they do manage to get over the bridge. But you guys are on the wrong side of the bridge. You're supposed to keep them from crossing the bridge.
Okay, so this is I guess,
Bitey's
15.
correct. Because if they
15
can't,
foot
if this
wide.
is a choke point and they can't cross the river, last ditch effort would be to take the bridge out. A bridge can be remade by the town.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like that. Let's work on that.
Indeed.
So the town is to the north here on this map, right, DM?
Yes.
Okay. So So, okay, so yeah, you want to get so Lucy and Gorapool and you guys want to have some cover, so that way you're ready to attack when you need to attack. Good choice. Scout can shoot from there.
I was imagining it's like being with Zerash being his sort of healer.
You're exposing yourself to a lot of fire there.
DM, how much cover does this spot have from the road where Pesci is? I want to be in a spot that has good cover that I can like duck behind.
Pretty much none, other than the fact that the little fence post thing there, like, I guess would provide you with a little bit of concealment as far as if you wanted to try and hide behind there at first, but the stone wall is what gives you at least a little bit of cover. Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20.
I'm going to try and assist Elodie in concealing herself initially.
Zarash, we could also move up onto the bridge so that we have room to fall back before we have to, like, break the bridge.
Yeah, let's. So DM, we are going to prep the bridge to be destroyed easily.
Yeah, so you're gonna need to make some athletics checks in order to saw away at them as hard as you can. So whoever wants to handle that.
Nice.
The halfling grabs up one of the axes and saws and starts to work away at the timbers, but he's just not making a whole lot of progress with the halfling-sized axe or the regular-sized saw in his halfling-sized hands.
I like to think he grabs like a full-sized axe, swings it, whiffs, and then like gets spun around a few times from the force.
Ha! Totally, yes.
Why don't you ask Roland to come up and take care of the bridge?
Athletics.
Zarash, you can also. We have like an hour before they get here, so that's time to like do this really
What
quick.
do I need to do?
Athletics.
Athletics. Okay, ability, skills, athletics. Yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
Roland is pretty skinny, so he's willing. He's willing to help, but I don't know that he's going to be the go-to guy here.
All right, so I just rolled a pretty crappy roll.
Yeah. So you guys, do the best that you can in order to try and weaken the timbers enough for you to easily be able to knock everything, down. But as you're doing that, it just gets to the point where you don't have any time left, and you've done everything that you can, and so hopefully it was enough, but you're not sure that it was chopped through enough to make it. So you'll have to see when the time comes whether or not that was the case.
The spellcasters, do we have any fire spells that we can light this thing on fire?
That's a good idea. Who's got fire spells?
Well, it's too late. Like they're here. So
DM, can I ready in action to cast Shield of Faith whenever we see them like approaching?
sure.
Cool. Let's see if I remember how to do this.
I'm going to ready an action to. Oh, that's 30. 5, 10.
And
No, that's
Zarash,
more.
Yes.
do you want to move up onto the center of the bridge because we can actually occupy the same square because I am small.
Okay.
Excellent. Gives us a little wiggle room to retreat.
Okay.
I think that this is okay. We're all over here. Why is Lucy behind me?
Just as a place to shoot from, you want.
It's called a meat shield. You'll be fine.
No, I mean I didn't want to be the person up front because Pesci will die very easily. I was saying let's switch our spots because Lucy is a ranger, so she'll be able to at least take a hit. Pesci will drop.
DM, did I do Shield of Faith right?
As he drops.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So everybody can go ahead and roll for initiative while I. Oh, you guys are in the same square.
Yeah, you can do that because Halfling Nimbleness, you can move through the space of any creature that's a size larger than yours.
You can move through the space.
Oh, I get it. Okay, well, there, now we're not.
Ugh. Wait, no, that's an int check. Oops. Where's initiative? There's initiative. Eh.
You are fantastic, Mom.
That was almost a nat 20.
A lot of goblins coming. Well, give him a second. He's placing everybody. He's placing everybody, and then you're gonna gear up your Hail of Thorns.
Yeah, if you want to actually begin your turn, like all of the enemies have already rolled, so you're definitely first.
I'm prepared to cast Vicious Mockery.
Either one, you help Mom get the attack, right?
I gotta get my glasses because I can't see.
Ooh, even Davi's excited. Even Davi's looking. He's like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna take you.
Sure, they're dogging.
You're very cool.
Okay,
You
so
can
here,
bend the
roll.
snare.
Show Mom how to do it here. I'm gonna target with Hail of Thorns. You want to get the cluster that's like down towards the bottom here. We can't get the goblin boss. I think it's too far away.
Yeah. So
Do I target first and then?
Yes, you target.
you target a group, like Goblin 3.
Well, you
How do
want
I
to do
get-
3, 5, you 10. DM, remind Lucy how Hail of Thorn works.
Okay, so when you cast Hail of Thorns, the first thing you do is use your bonus action to cast Hail of Thorns on yourself. Then you use your standard action to make a regular arrow attack against one target. Once you attack that target and every creature around it has to make a saving throw, or they take the extra Hail of Thorns damage. And so the only thing that you need to do for right now is select your target and then shoot a regular arrow at it.
Yeah. Where's the?
Goblin boss is.
Can I see the goblin boss in this? Okay. Can I reach the goblin boss from here? It's.
You can reach pretty much anything on the map and you can see everything that you can see. That's why you see those like shadows being cast out by the trees there. That's showing you like what would be blocked from your line of sight due to the trees.
Targeting. I forget. It's controller command.
Control. Yeah, control click.
Okay, wait, hold on. As soon as you target the goblin boss, he trades places with one of the other goblins. I think they trade places. Let me make
Yeah.
sure.
It's a feature of the goblin boss to like swap places with an underling.
Yep, the two goblins swap places. So instead of targeting the goblin boss, you will instead be targeting goblin number 7.
And do I click the Hail of Thorns thing right there?
No, you don't have to click the Hail of Thorns thing.
I don't. Okay.
So you gotta retarget 7.
So do I unclick the Hail of Thorns?
Yeah,
thing?
unclick it.
What's that, Brian?
You gotta retarget the goblin number 7.
Oh, I have to retarget it?
Yeah.
I still want to hit goblins.
Yeah, because you can't. That's the
Okay.
feature there.
Did
Okay.
I do it?
It
Yes.
looks like it.
Yes, it's done. You can always tell if you hover over your character, it'll show you a line to anything that you're targeting. So you can see you only have the one line going to Goblin 7, so you're good.
I noticed that line would appear, but I didn't know why. Sometimes it didn't. Sometimes it didn't. Okay. So do I turn off cat claws?
No,
You gotta just roll at this point.
no. You don't turn on crab claws. You
What am I?
click longbow and roll the longbow.
Big roll. Big 20.
1.
Well, 7.
It hits.
All right, so now you roll the damage for your longbow. Okay. That goblin takes the arrow and is going to drop to system shock unconscious at the very least. But before we determine exactly what happened, your arrow, when it hit it, exploded into a shower of shards and shrapnel that shred the soldiers. And as we go down, you'll see Hail of Thorns, and what you do is target every creature around that goblin plus the goblin still. So Goblin 7 and then any of the other goblins around it, which is the goblin boss plus goblin 8, 6, and 4 on the back row there.
Let me help.
Do I hit control first?
Yes,
or-
hit control first.
But you're talking
Target
stuff.
6. He's getting it. She's
No,
got it.
she's still hovering over Goblin 7.
It's the blood splatter that's making it hard. I'm helping you here.
Yeah, it keeps coming up 7.
You're stop clicking. I got
Okay, because I'm on I'm doing
undoing it now, yeah.
Sorry. I'm stopping.
All right. Now you roll the dice for the saving throw.
Saving throw.
For the saving. Do I do it from the Hill of Thorns? No.
Yes, that's the one.
No, not that.
What do I do?
It's go down. See the dice?
Oh, next to it. This? Didn't pick anything up.
Let me help.
Oh.
And now, every creature that failed is going to take 1d10 damage, and everyone who succeeded takes half of that much. So you just click on the blood droplet. All right. So as the shrapnel explodes into the goblins, Goblin 7 is just lying on the ground, bleeding to death and dying, but the rest of them seem to be okay.
You're the best, Mom.
Actually, for this application, she is. All right, end turn, and yes, Scout.
Scout takes a deep breath, steadies his aim, and he lets it go towards the goblin boss.
Oof.
Yeah, that was with advantage. That sucked.
Can I use? I can't use an inspiration for him, can't I? DM.
Not now.
Hmm.
I was given a spear.
It's something that had to have been applied before he made the roll.
I was given a spear. Should that be in my weapons category now?
Yes. It's under items.
The spear I gave him was that orc ceremonial one that I picked up.
Yep.
Spear. Ooh, I like it. I get a spear. I'm gonna throw a freaking spear at this guy. Okay, let's see how that works. All right, got him. He's from. Oh, there we go. There we go. Got one. That feels good.
Care
I'm
to,
ready to defend.
care to describe what
I'm a
happened?
happy bugbear.
Care to...
So it's okay, Hazard. I got this. So as you throw the spear, the goblin is kind of taken off of his feet from the force of the impact and sticks into the ground like some kind of macabre shish kebab just hanging out on the spear.
Well, that's gruesome imagery.
I made my point.
This goblin jumps behind the wall in order to get cover and shoots at Ryoun.
Jumped out of the way so exceptionally well. We are pleased.
I'm very nimble. AC 21.
Hey. God. man.
I'm too fast.
Oh, this is what I wanted. The goblin boss is coming at
DM question.
Yes.
You said before that could we have readied actions prior to this or not?
Yeah.
All right. I mentioned before at the top that I readied an action to use Vicious Mockery.
Oh, readied action. I thought you meant like how he wanted to cast Shield of Faith and buffs and stuff like that. Like no readied actions for attacks. No.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Thank you.
Yes. Roland
Rolling.
is going to yeah, I still just got this club, so I guess I'll just move up.
Come fight with us, Roland. Be our meat shield.
Don't be a meat
Die
shield.
gloriously.
Don't be a meat shield. Don't be a meat shield.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll bring him back to life. And then he can die again.
And the goblins move up.
Oh, it's my turn now. Okay. I guess I'm gonna. I will channel divinity using my bonus action and do legendary strike, which means I crit on a 19 or a 20. Let me see, how do I do that? Is that... Where would channel... Oh, is that in abilities?
It should be.
Yeah. Can I... Do I have to do anything for that, or... 'Cause I don't...
Hold on, I'm just looking.
It's in abilities, but it's not like there's anything I can do with it, you know?
I believe it
Legendary strike.
automatically
You can
applies
use your-
once you've got the ability.
For 1 minute, your weapon attack score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20 on the d20. Yeah, I don't think that's something that can be applied, but it should have a timer on it for the 10 rounds. So let me go ahead and make a thing here.
And then I'm just gonna make a rapier attack at the goblin dude, who I think I'm targeting. There, now I'm targeting. Okay. And I roll, and 15, so that hits. That's gonna be 10 damage. Oh, instant death.
Yeah, your rapier stabs the goblin right through the throat as it just kind of gasps on its own. Its hands clasp its throat, trying to stop the blood from leaking out as it just kind of gags on its own blood, and it drops to its knees and dies.
Nice. And with that, I end my turn.
Okay. Let's see. So I'm going through my list of actions here. Goblins have some wisdom to them, right, DM? From Pesci's experience.
I mean, they're not mindless, but I wouldn't say that they have wisdom per se.
I mean, from based off the experience that we've had, they're at least have as much wisdom as like the average human.
I think it's close or equal. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, my spell saves DC stinks, so I am not going to use Tasha's Hideous Laughter against that guy. So, okay. I guess what Heshi will do, I'm going to hold on to Bardic Inspiration. You want me to? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to insult the Goblin Boss because he's within range, and I don't want him to be attacking my dear Bugbear, who is the lead bit of one of my tales.
We thank you.
So I will tell him that his group will be made of in short work because he is useless
He says.
and he succeeds.
Yeah, he says your words mean nothing.
Doesn't
And then
sound goblin enough.
And then he, Pesci then goes back into prone to further reduce being hit by arrows.
And prone you shall be. There you go. Goblin number 4 races up by the boss.
Oh, what's Mighty Slayer gonna do?
Hide.
Mighty Slayer's gonna hide? That's not what I expect from my vicious Mighty Slayer.
He's gonna flank them from the side, obviously.
Obviously, that's where he's off to.
Yes.
It's very bright out, and I can't
He's looking
see.
for shade.
Yeah, I can't see in this sun, so I can't target them, very well. Well, he's not very good at hiding.
Somebody shoot at him then. Not waste a shot.
And Goblin number 1 moves up by the boss.
Oracle, seeing that they're in range of an earth tremor, is going to earth tremor these 3 guys.
Hold on, let me just take a look at the spell.
No, I'm joking. Now these birds say that's enough. What are you gonna do?
Just getting in range of earth tremor.
You want to put yourself at risk there? Okay.
This is centered on you, and 10 feet out from you, everything is affected by it. You basically stomp your feet and cause the ground to shake.
Okay, sorry.
Shoot something at these guys. So,
That would be a good backup solution for the bridge, Garakul.
It might be. That might be.
Yeah,
If they need to.
try that.
Yeah.
Sorry, just
Meanwhile, shoot something.
You have a lot of rocks.
Go.
I'm going to use my magic stone.
Who are you targeting?
Oh!
He shoots
Miss.
at Goblin number 4, trying to take him out, but the comet flies right over the Goblin's short head.
I am just sort of based around that spell, aren't I? That cantrip.
That was supposed to be a 17. It just rolled bad.
I don't think we've had any really good rolls this session so far.
Yeah, but I'm about to
I'm
get
looking
20.
back.
I think the DM is taking the table as we roll.
Gearing up for it. Wow, man, no one can hit you. Ryan is
Now that you've
unhittable.
said that, you know it's going to change.
Knock on wood.
Unhittable. Oh, Elodie.
Okay. So I'm gonna do ice knife on this goblin. So are they in 5 feet of this goblin, or is like 5 feet one of these blocks?
They're all
One-
within 5 feet of that goblin, but so are your allies.
Yeah, I was just asking if they would get hit if I used ice knife.
Yes, all of the goblins would get hit if you used ice knife.
Yeah, I meant would my compatriots get hit?
Yes.
Okay, because
But if you shot
So
to
Because I'm shooting
One
goblin
roll
1,
back.
so I was just asking because there's goblins in between them and.
I was gonna say, yeah, Goblin 1.
Yeah, if you target roll back, then you'd only have 5 feet from that target.
Oh, mine. That was not what I intended to do. I was trying to target goblin number 1.
Yeah, so if you target him, then you hit all of the goblins, but not your allies.
So that's what I was trying to do. All right.
B20. B20, here it comes.
So you hit as your blade of ice flies through the air and strikes that goblin, even with the cover provided by the other goblin there. And then he also already failed his saving throw for that, but you first deal the ice knife damage to him. Okay. So he is just killed instantly as the ice knife flies into him and then explodes into a shards of ice that blast out everywhere else. So now target all 4 of the other goblins.
Liking these spells that our women have.
Powerful women.
Yeah, we should listen to them more often.
Powerful women. Powerful women. Powerful women.
I know. Every time I try to target more than.
Just aim a little below their marker.
Yep,
They're all
there you go.
targeted.
All right, now roll the saving throw.
Which one is the thing?
It's the little.
It's
Give me a
the,
minute.
it's
to the
the-
left.
It's the one that says bad mother effer.
Because
right?
this
Say,
is.
see what it says, say? Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Cool.
Okay, and then roll the damage.
Como chameleon.
Oh, wow.
A lot of
Okay.
ice.
One of both of the other ones are stunned, and one of them drops dead as the ice shards fly into them. The goblin boss still seems to be mostly okay though. So.
All right.
It's all right. Roland's gonna kill him. Roland's gonna be the guy who kills the goblin boss. But there appear to be orcs coming after them, so we gotta.
What's an Aruk?
Auroch. It's a ancient bull.
Oh, so we're about to be full of bull.
Is that from mythology?
No, it's a real animal.
Oh.
Hi, Lucy.
Okay, DM, I'd like to use a point of inspiration for my next attack. Is that?
You're really quiet, but I heard you want to use a point of inspiration for your next attack.
Correct.
Okay. So you would roll with advantage, but right now you're targeting two different goblins. Which one do you want to target?
I have no idea who I'm
Goblin
targeting.
6, probably. Because if you're going to use Hail of Thorns again, would attacking Goblin 6 give
Well,
her...
If you're using Hail of Thorns again, then you're casting it again?
I think she should just shoot.
Just
Goblin
shoot?
boss.
I think I'm just
you
gonna
should just
shoot.
shoot the goblin boss. That's what I think.
I would, then the problem is it's going to be...
He can move.
Yeah, shoot the Goblin boss.
Okay. So how do I do I just
Yeah,
Well, if you're targeting the goblin boss, then you're actually going to be targeting goblin number 2. So here you go.
did I do it?
No, hold on. I'm gonna help you.
See my side. Thought I targeted.
All right, now you are targeting goblin number 2. Your arrow is flying true today as it strikes the goblin. Just plastering him to the ground as he takes the arrow right into his chest. He grabs at it, futilely trying to pull it out before he just drops.
Scout, what you gonna do?
Well, first he's going to mumble to himself about how crappy he's shooting. Steadies his aim again. And fire. Oops, need to target first. And he's going to let another arrow loose.
Ew!
Wow, you saying it to yourself really just confirmed it.
It should have went with advantage, though.
Yeah, you don't have it set up as the actual
That's
thing.
you.
You're doing it off of
There we go.
the abilities, so you gotta do it like this.
That's a shame. He's going to have to roll again.
Well, I clicked advantage. So.
Well, that was advantage.
Okay.
See, ADV dropped a 1.
Okay. So I rolled a 1 and a 2. That's pretty awesome of him.
That blows,
He's
as they
amazing.
say.
He's on a roll today.
And when you mean a roll, you mean he's crud.
So I'm gonna. Can I attack? I guess can I attack the goblin boss without creating a attack of opportunity, or do I have? If I approach him from there.
Okay, hold on. Let me see what you're. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
Okay, so I can come up and attack him.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh no, not like that.
Oh, I can
If you
attack
don't,
him from
you need to come down that 5-foot space so you don't leave the attacker's space.
Gotcha. Okay, so I can attack from there.
No. You gotta move down 1 square. There you go.
You just can't
Gotcha.
go diagonal.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
If you would have gone over 1 square, then you'd be leaving Goblin 4 space, and then he would get to attack you.
I understand. I got you. Okay, so here I am with my faultless longsword. Better not be faulting me this time. All right, here we go. Now, got it.
Your longsword cleaves into the goblin boss as he tries to deflect it with his axes.
Let's see what happens here. Okay, now I'm gonna get the crap beaten out of me. Let's do it. Unless they're gonna keep shooting at Ryan, in which case I'm just happy. Oh, missing me. Look at that.
You're learning to rely on.
Look at that.
You're just like, look, I have to be nimble too.
Unfortunately, not quite.
One of the goblin arrows glances off of your armor. You can feel that it's going to leave a bruise.
This is the problem. See what he does. There's nothing worse than a wounded goblin boss. Ooh. Scimitar. It's a hooked thing about you.
The goblin boss slices away at you. It says scimitars. He has axes. With his axes, just chopping and swinging, you take a heavy amount of damage.
All right. That's my job.
And then... Oh, and then I'm going to use Nimble Escape in order to disengage and move down here.
Coward! That was in character.
Yeah. One of the orcs rushes up and gets right up to Zarash before ending its turn.
Is that a female one?
It is a female orc, although you have trouble telling them apart sometimes.
I'll be right back. I think my cat wants to leave my room. I gotta open the door.
Roland goes to swing at the goblin, but his club flies overhead, almost striking Ryan, but luckily missing them both.
Alright. I am going to go there. I'm gonna move through both of them. And then...
Wait, you can move through an ally square. You can't move.
Oh, is it only allies?
I think. Let me double check that.
You're also going to leave the bridge open for somebody to go across if you move past there.
Any
creature that is a size larger than yours. The goblins are not bigger than you.
Oh, okay. My bad.
You got flanking advantage for 4. I would just beat the crap out of 4.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. Then advantage.
Nope, there's no advantage.
Oh, no advantage.
Flanking?
No.
No, he's not behind it.
Yeah, you got to be on opposite sides.
No, because an orc's in the room.
Okay.
Alright, I'll just go for the little goblin.
Yeah, and you still have on your crit on a 19 through 20, so if you roll a 19, I'll show you how to handle that.
It's a 9.
Not roll a 19.
The first thing you got to do is say no 19.
No, 19.
Well, when you roll it.
No, cigar. You only came this close.
Alright, well... yeah, that's my turn.
Yep, so as you go to strike the goblin, he nimbly parries the blow with his, what do they got, short swords?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. We are not doing great. Our rolls are terrible.
They're not great.
No, they're not. Okay.
It's a mixed bag.
Pesci, you're Sam, you're really good at this, so I am going to take this opportunity to run to the little DM's room real quick while you take your turn, okay? So I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, beat the shit out of them now while they're gone. Alright, kill them all.
Yeah. I wish I had
Why
that
do-
capability.
No, it's not working.
Quick, multiple attack rolls.
So let's see. Sleep. I'm considering using sleep at this time at level 2, to give us some time. And I think I can catch pretty much all of them that are currently on the board except for Goblin 4. So let's see. I wish that I had like a thing I can use to like measure. Doesn't look like I do. So
What are you trying to measure?
I want to measure the radius from the point I pick for my sleep origin.
Right
point.
click. Okay, right click, go to pointers. And there's circle, cone, square. So if it's a radius one, you do the circle. If it's a cone effect, there you go. And then you can just adjust it from there for size.
Can I move the circle?
Yeah. Should be
Oh,
the center dot should be able to allow you to move it. Just like you're able to resize
there we
it too.
Yeah, so I can like
Yes,
put it
that's all 100%
here.
correct. Thank you, Rhombus. So, just like he was saying, you right click, select the shape for cone or whatever, and then, just drag it around, move it around. And the only other thing is make sure that you go to the maximum where it changes over to 25 and then shrink it down by one square until it says 20, because there's 2 settings that'll say 20, and you want to make sure you give yourself the maximum one to make sure you catch everybody.
Yeah. So this is the maximum one, and I think does this also catch Jerish in this spell or no?
No, and just that you guys are aware of the way that I rule this. Well, actually, Zerish is like right on the edge of it, so it'd be a ad hoc case where I'd have to decide whether it actually caught him or not. But the way that it goes is any of the squares, like see the square Ryan's in right now, that would not ever be, whether it was an enemy or an ally, it just would not count. But like some of these, well, this one obviously, but like some of these squares, like this one right here, are like edge cases where, it's like typically that wouldn't target, but depending on the mood I'm in, I might say it does.
Okay. So right here, it doesn't look like it targets.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Do I want to include Goblin 4 in this spell, or do I want to exclude him in this? Because he's going to take hit die off of this. And it looks like he's almost dead anyway, so it doesn't look useful to me.
Well, I mean, all you get is the bar to go off of, so that's your call to make. Like, you can see he's badly wounded.
Yeah. I'm more interested in the goblins that are down behind the wall, specifically.
Right. Well, if that's the case, then
as
you know, sleep is going to affect the most injured people first, and then, go up from there. So it's very unlikely that you're going to get the orc no matter what. And you're definitely not going to get the goblin boss and all of them with that. So if you want to make sure that you get the other goblins, then targeting the least amount of them, like especially like you said, Goblin 4 is what you want to do. But again, that's your decision to make based off of.
So I was going to cast it as a level 2 spell, which gives me some more hit dice to mess with.
Yep.
So I think that I could get these 2 goblins plus the goblin boss in this, because I think the goblin boss should be good, like is damaged enough to do this. Now the question is, do I want to also try to get another goblin in this or not? Because I don't think that the other goblin plus the goblin boss is possible. So that's 5d8, which on average is what you're rolling a 5 on average.
Yeah.
So that's 25 hit points worth of damage that I can get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 4.5, so it's 23.5, but still.
Yeah. So I think I can only get these 3, realistically. At the very least, it'll distract the goblin boss for a turn.
Or 22.5, sorry.
Yeah.
Right, roll it.
So, thoughts, Gabriel? What are your thoughts?
I mean, if it works, it works.
Okay. Well, Pesci doesn't like the fact that these guys are away from the main fight. He feels that is not dramatic enough to have them in a whole separate other section. So he is going to tell them to sleep because it is not dramatic enough.
Right.
Oh, I need to actually select.
No. First, what you need to do is roll the level 2 sleep for how many dice you can affect.
Yes, that's correct. Damage. Oh, it's 78. Thought it was 5d8. Okay, so I can definitely get that goblin boss. Okay,
Wow,
well,
78, that's a lot.
yeah. But it ends
And
up
then
being
you get your
25 anyway.
Yeah. All right, fine, you were right. It'll be 25.
Called it.
So,
that was highly on average.
Yeah. So, the goblin number 5 has 7. Oh, never mind. It's not going to tell me their actual ones until I go here. Cool. So 8 and 9 is 17, and 8 is not enough to get the goblin boss. So goblin 5 and 10 are asleep. Go ahead and target them and apply the sleep.
Darn. Oh well, it'll keep him distracted for a turn.
Give us another shot.
Okay. I can't use a spell as a bonus action now, correct? Because I cast a spell already.
Correct.
Okay. Then Zarash, I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration on you. Why am I targeting the Goblin Boss? Here. What?
Goblin boss wasn't even near him.
Yeah, I don't know why I kept on selecting that for him. Okay, sorry, that's my turn.
The next orc comes charging up and gets right up on top of Zarash.
I like it when orcs get on top of me.
The orc war chief comes riding in on his massive aurochs and rides him right up into the thick of battle, but behind his men, so right here.
Oh wow.
This will be interesting.
Okay.
Lady Slayer, come on, get out here, kill this thing.
Me, I'm trying.
And then I nimble escape back to here, and I wake.
Ryan? No?
Nope, nimble escape. And then I wake goblin number 10 up.
Isn't that how? Isn't that some sort of action that they have to do to wake?
Yeah.
Out of curiosity.
All I did was move over and kick him. That's a free action. Or I can just speak, which is also a free action.
It takes with sleep. It takes.
Oh,
an action
you're right.
to wake them up.
You're right. With sleep, I actually have to physically do something to him. So I can't wake Goblin 10 up because I attacked.
Come on, Buddy Slayer.
I can't. It's too bright.
Right. Well, then we're gonna leave it to Gorkul to figure something out.
I'm gonna move down here. Actually, I'm gonna try and hide by this tree.
Yeah.
I would try to hit with a 4 or the big food, because I can hit dodgeball to get
I'm also a healer.
We don't
Yeah,
need
I
any
don't need
healing
it.
right
So throw a rock at his head and freaking knock him out.
So,
now.
or
Or you targeting him? Go for it. No, go for it.
hopefully this hits.
Now, boom. Come on. Big 20. Haven't done the 20 yet. Need a 20. Come. Roll.
I'm trying to find this.
Oh no! Your comet-looking flying rock once again flies over the goblin's head. Wait. Hey, you can't target the goblin boss.
God boss is gonna move.
Oh.
He moves out of the way. You are now targeting goblin number 5. You know, it's funny that it allows him to do this even though the goblin's asleep.
Yeah, that seems strange. Okay, well.
Actually, no. The goblins are asleep, so you just get to hit the goblin boss. So, you strike the goblin boss, and deal the knife damage, but not the cold damage because he made his save.
Okay.
Do I get to do the?
No, not the cold damage because you see he made his save up at the top there. Dexterity success.
That's.
Hey,
not
oh
what I
wait,
was
is that still half damage though? I have to read the spell again.
I was more just asking if it still comes off and hits the other ones.
Yes, and they automatically fail. So you can just deal the cold damage to them.
They can't resist ice damage when they're asleep.
Right, that you auto fail a dex save, so
Good double teaming, Elodie.
unfortunately they are also now both awake.
Just deal the.
Was that the right?
I don't know if that was
the
the right thing.
No,
I don't think it was the right thing.
That's piercing, not the ice.
Piercing, because I only have piercing and cold. But I guess he said it auto failed, so I didn't have to roll this save.
No, they auto fail their saves.
So did I do the right thing or did I mess up?
No, you did not do the right thing for the damage, so you need to re-roll the damage. But hold on. All right, go ahead.
So am I just doing the piercing damage?
No, you're just doing the cold damage.
The cold damage.
Much better.
There you go. All right. They are both dying, so
They are frozen statues.
Yeah. All right, goblin number 6.
Right in front of you.
Oh, great. Yeah, miss me. Miss me. He's not going to go attack the unattackable Ryan. He can't do that.
No, he was thinking about killing Roland.
No, Roland is my. I'm defending Roland.
I know, that's why he thought better of it, because he was just putting himself in a bad position just to try and get Roland, so. And this orc comes rushing up to you. They're spending all of their movement to dash, though, so they can't attack you. And then it would be the Auroch's turn, but the Orc War Chief keeps him on a tight leash.
Hey, Lucy. You're back. You gotta target that war chief now with your
With my longbow?
Yeah, although I guess you could use the does it help to use the Hail of Thorns, or does it not really matter?
Well, am I targeting the Arach? That?
Yeah, I would target not the the orc were.
Oh, he's next to it.
It would also hit the Auroch because it's sharing the same space technically. Just information.
Yeah, so use Hail of Thorns.
Use it?
Yep. Because you want to get the Aurochs too if you can, because we're gonna have to kill that thing.
Well, I thought. Okay, so I thought by sending the longbow it would automatically do that.
No, then you have to choose that, right, Deanna?
If you're using the Hail of Thorns, you have to cast it again, correct?
No, the question I had was, if I hit the, when I'm targeting the orc, whatever he is, I'm also targeting his ride, right?
I don't think so. I'm double checking right now, but I'm pretty sure that you can target the rider or the mount.
I did target the rider, but he keeps disappearing off my screen.
Oh yeah, here let me help you with that.
But if she uses Hail of Thorns, it would attack. It would, and it was successful. It would also hit the rider, right? It would hit the,
right.
Can I use my other point of inspiration?
Yeah. Yes. 1 second.
Okay.
I'm just making sure. The initiative of a controlled mount changes to match yours when you mount it. It moves as you direct it. It can dash, disengage, or dodge. Independent mount moves and acts as it wishes. That doesn't. A knight, blah blah blah. A willing can serve as a mount, mounting and dismounting. It's not pulling up how targeting works. Hold on 1 second. I am so sorry, but since somebody said something about it, working a way different than I recall, I want to make sure I get the ruling right.
I have no idea how.
Riders and mounts can be targeted like any other creature. So yeah, you target one or the other.
Okay, but I targeted the orc originally, and then he disappeared. So he's
You
not on
you
my
you still
screen.
have them targeted.
Perfect.
All right.
So we start by rolling. Let's do this right again. We start by rolling the longbow shot, right? And then you roll
Yes.
the Hail Thorn. Okay, so go
You
back
gotta
up
do
to
the hill thorns.
yeah. So
Okay.
go to roll one. Go up to okay. Yep. Longbow, right? Longbow point. D20. Oh, missed.
The orc war chief catches your arrow in his hands, and it shatters, and the shrapnel just kind of bounces off of him and his mount's thick hides.
Ease. This is gonna take some time. Okay.
He
Wow.
catches your arrow too. No, I'm just kidding. your arrow strikes the Aurochs right in the horn, and just kind of sticks in his horn, but it just adds to the spikiness of how he looks.
All right, I'm gonna use second wind
Oh.
here.
DM, I did make a mistake, actually. That should have had advantage.
Advantage?
For the steady aim.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you say next time that you're using steady aim, though. But go ahead and roll one more time. I mean, I understand that, of course, you would want to use it, but, you know, you got
Nah, it didn't matter anyhow.
It did not help.
Did not help at all.
Yeah,
Scout
you
is having
are.
an off day.
You are not really doing what we need to do, unfortunately, but it is what it is. All right, so
I'm
I
here to
just got
cheer you all on. I'm just a cheerleader.
You and Pesci are just motivation.
Right, so I've got Bardic Inspiration. Do I have to do anything before I?
You do?
That's what I got on me here. Do I have to hit advantage or anything before I just roll and beat the crap out of this guy?
Say that one more time. Why would you get advantage?
Well, I've got Bardic Inspiration right now.
That doesn't give you advantage. That gives you a bonus that gets
so
added.
if you want to use your Bardic Inspiration for this, I will make sure that I set that up for you so it works correctly, and then okay, it should work.
Okay.
You swing your faultless longsword at the orc, striking it, dealing a heavy blow. It manages to hold on as blood pours down its side.
Right. I'm very excited about that.
The goblin boss decides to run in.
No attack of opportunity for Ryan there?
Nope. It's only when they leave the square.
Way to go!
Oh.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
He deals heavy damage to Zarash with his axe.
The annoying thing is he rolled a 1 the first time, man. He was rolling like Scout. Okay, well, it is what it is. Now I'm going to get killed. Okay, let's do it. Ryan will have to hold the bridge on his own. Let's see what happens with Orc 3. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. And then as he charges in, he then also uses disengage, and so he was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he goes 5, and
He bravely ran
6.
away. He bravely ran away.
And then orc number 3 moves up here. And swings her great axe at Ryan, who nimbly
He's
dodges
unhittable.
out of the way.
Ryan is unhittable.
Ryan is the tank.
Come on, Roland. Do something useful.
Come on, Roland.
I am going to disengage and move back.
Oh,
Oh,
come
Come
on.
on.
Roland. We will not sing your praises.
Let me.
Yeah, but at least I'll be alive to hear you not singing them.
How'd that happen? No. I'm gonna go for Mrs. Orc number 3 right in front of me. Come on.
Hey, you play your cards right, and that could be Miss Orc number 3.
8 damage. That's not too bad.
Oh, even as wounded as she is after your rapier pierces into her, she manages to continue fighting.
There we go. Pesci, you're up.
Yep. Sorry, I'm muting. I'm eating some chips and homemade guacamole. Okay. First,
Did you bring it up for the whole group?
I did. Unfortunately, no one else is here. Okay. So I am targeting Zarash, and I will use vicious mockery. No. I'll use healing word. As I say, Zarash, you are surrounded. Now is the time to show off your bugbear might.
Why, thank
Kills
you.
him.
I'm
Kills
a
him
happy
6.
bugbear. Ready to attack.
Remember, dramatic pause. All right, and then he shoots at the goblin boss because he can see him at this point. Correct, DM? Not obscured.
Correct.
Okay. Stands up, shoots at the boss. How am I at disadvantage?
Oh, you're prone.
No, I stood up.
Yeah, well, you got to give me a second to take it
Oh.
off.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, you
Does the
can say you stand up a lot quicker than I can like click over onto stuff.
That is very true. I'm
So
sorry.
15 plus 4, does it hit?
I thought this was voice activated.
Right? And yes, Hazard, it does hit.
Good. Good.
It would have hit.
Except for that's at advantage because it would have been rolling twice. So he needs to just roll again.
I'll use a point of inspiration to give myself advantage.
Then you can just hit.
Okay. I will take that. And I will roll for damage. And I will accept that much damage.
I think
And
it's
then
the goblin boss who's going to accept it.
yeah, he does. Delivered care of bow and arrow. At which point I will go back to being prone and behind cover.
Oh, I see how it is. Just trying to make me do extra work right away quick.
Yeah, it's all that. No, because I don't want to die.
Oh, wow. I don't want to die. Jeez.
My turn is complete.
My job around here. Happy dead bugbear.
We don't want
This generation and not wanting to die, I tell you.
That is not aged well.
Come on out, New York one. Come on.
I would love to like go stand in this like watery area, but I would probably rule that it would be rough terrain, and like give disadvantage on attacks for one of you guys, so I don't think I can do it for the orc either. So I instead am just gonna attack you without advantage.
Come on, come at me. Yeah.
You asked for it.
And now I charge in on my Aurochs, pushing the goblin boss out of the way, and I attack Zarash.
He's gonna die.
Come on, man. Miss me.
Pesci, don't you have cutting words?
Miss me.
I don't have any points of inspiration
darn.
left.
He
Dead.
cuts Zarash down and ends his turn.
Dying again. Yay, me!
You
I've
do real
achieved
good
my
at that.
I do. I've achieved my purpose.
I do.
Ryan will be there to avenge me.
As long as they keep missing him, he will. Oh, look at that. The tide is turned.
That's not fair.
Right.
Oh no, you failed your...
Oh no!
What are you doing? Don't do that.
Come on, man.
That's Paladin 101. Don't fail your concentration for Shield of Faith.
Darn.
Slayer.
All right. I pop out from behind here and then decide that you guys are not in a good situation, so I hide again.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
Gorakul is going to save Zarash. La 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 la. So you can beat the crap out of the orc. Should I do cure wounds or healing word?
Cure wounds heals more, but you gotta get close.
Yep, I was just gonna say you got to get closer if you want to do Cure Wounds.
So I should get closer. So I'll do that and cure wounds.
Do you have anything that can make it more effective?
Right.
What, like some alcohol?
That would make it a lot more effective.
That would make it a lot more effective.
Yeah, Zarash is like, I'm fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
I gotta figure out what's the most effective thing. Because the thing is, I can't get to any of the goblin bosses or anything anymore because there'd be stuff in the way. I could like hit the orc closest to me.
Why don't you hit the work closest to you because that's fully
Well,
If you're out of ice knife, because otherwise, if you hit the Auroch, you'd get everything around it.
I was just gonna say that you should target the orc war chief with ice knife level 2.
Zarash?
No, because the orc war chief is in this square, which means that you will be hitting the orc war chief, and then the cold will hit the goblin boss, the Aurochs, and orc number 3.
Hopefully. All right.
Let's hope. I'm gonna use my level 2. Let's do it.
Big roll, baby. Big roll. Elodie's gonna come through for us today.
Ah! I lost 18! Oh my god!
I wish you used an inspiration point.
Yeah.
My inspiration point is nothing.
Yeah,
Better
that's terrible. So you launch your ice knife at the orc war chief, but unfortunately you miss.
All right.
I'm
Go.
go.
Yeah. Go.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, actually, Gabriel Hazard, if you want to like remind people about their inspiration points, that'd be a big help.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to make sure to do that.
Does he not?
Oh, Bless just expired on Zarash as Gorakul gets hit with one of the goblin arrows and his concentration is interrupted.
Don't.
Come on. You can hit me. Try.
Yeah, but you're on the ground, so I don't necessarily feel good about this.
These aren't backstabbers. They're orcs.
Exactly. They have some degree of honor, like Klingons. So, I am going to instead ready an attack. If you try to stand up, I'm gonna hit you.
Okay. Huh.
That was the orc.
That's the orc. All right, you're up.
Okay.
And target the
Orc.
orc. Yep. You just roll that again.
Okay. Oh. Should I? Now, do I have any points of inspiration left?
DM? It looks like you.
You have 2.
Yes, you have 2.
Because I had asked to use one before. I think maybe you couldn't hear me.
Oh, I didn't. I thought you took it off. So yeah, okay, then you have 1.
Okay, so we're using it. Yeah. And
Yeah.
You're throwing the longbow again. We're gonna use the hail of thorns, right?
And I'm still targeting the.
You target. You got it. So let's roll it.
Am I using?
Longbow. Right, you gotta roll the longbow first.
Yeah.
I get lucky once today. That's not it.
4.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, we are not getting.
You
lucky
didn't
all-
roll at advantage.
Oh, that's true. Roll advantage.
Where's that?
So just roll again.
Oh, I see.
Don't click advantage.
Roll one more time. Just roll one more time. Not much more helpful.
But luckily, you still have Hail of Thorns on you, so all you have to do is hit him. The next time you hit him, it's going to, deal the damage. So.
Turn's over.
Oh, and that's right. You had missed the other time too, so you still have a spell slot left. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, come on. Let's get a good roll here. Oh yeah.
About time he finally hit him.
As your arrow strikes the orc war chief, he just kind of grunts and shrugs it off.
Did that include your sneak attack?
I don't get sneak attack if I'm not within 5 feet.
No, it's with
Or he's
advantage.
within 5 feet of an
But
opponent.
you rolled with advantage because you aimed,
Yes.
so you get sneak attack.
Ruling on the field, DM.
I think he's right. I am double checking, but sneak attack is bonus damage if you have advantage or a friend is within 5 feet from the target. Yeah.
Okay. So I get 2d6, so I'll just roll that off to the side here.
No, it's under your sneak attack.
Also,
What?
you have crit
It's-
damage from that
it's-
too.
Yeah. Sneak attack's just 2d6 right now.
Yes, it is. But it should be actual damage on your thing. Oh, I see. You have to add it, and then it rolls to the. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll add the extra 3 damage.
So that's why I rolled 2d6 just to
I got it.
cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sneak attack damage is also affected by crit. So shouldn't it be doubled because they're dice?
Yes. Yes, it should.
Good catch.
I play a lot of rogue in my other campaign. Sorry.
No, duly noted that you know,
Any
gotta
little
make sure
bit of
he
help
applies the
helps.
sneak attack. So, roll the 2d6 one more time. All right. He is a little more wounded than before.
All right, so I have second wind listed under class abilities and under features, but that means I get to use it twice.
No.
I'm prone, so if I get up, I'm gonna get attacked. If I does this action surge do anything for me?
Action surge gives you an extra turn, so yes.
So I'd like to use that. Do I hit the little dragon button then? Is what I do?
Yeah, you just click on the little dot there. Yep.
Got it. Okay. So sweep the leg is exactly what I'm thinking. Can I attack prone on orc number 2?
You can.
Does that avoid the his ability to her ability to attack me?
Yeah, but you don't know that she has an attack ready to attack you when you stand up.
Right, but I want to do this anyway.
I mean, you don't know if your character does. The DM's point is if your character doesn't know, what will your character do? I thought that she was making it very apparent to you that if you get up, but that wasn't the
I
case.
think they all think I'm dead, so it's going to be easier for me to attack from the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's fine. I'm just,
Yeah.
throwing it out there that like she isn't like standing over you with the axe ready to chop you down. She's just standing there, and if you try to get up, she's gonna attack you.
So if I'm attacking from the ground, am I attacking at disadvantage or am I just rolling?
It'll be at disadvantage.
Okay.
Use an inspiration point if you have one.
I have an inspiration point. I do. I will use the inspiration point.
Okay, so you can click on advantage.
Okay. And I'm going to use my faultless longsword.
Whoa. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's why it rolled twice. I got you. Because you rolled twice. Oh, it targeted the goblin boss, too. I see. Ah.
Oh, no, it shouldn't have done that, though. It should have just been... Okay.
Does a 12 hit orc number 2?
It doesn't. Hold on. So, should I do this again, or did I just screw it up?
No, everything was right. You just accidentally targeted the goblin boss as well.
But I have a second attack now.
You can use your action surge to do any other action, correct?
All right, so I'm going to do a second attack on Orc 2. Let me try it again.
Okay.
Advantage, disadvantage, no difference? What do I got?
You don't have another point of inspiration, do you? I forget who all had 2 and who doesn't, and my combat tracker covers up the little thing.
It doesn't look like. So it doesn't look like he rolled the attack though at advantage. It just looked like it rolled
Yeah,
two
no, it
different
wasn't.
dice.
It wasn't because he had disadvantage from being prone.
Oh, okay, I see. So it countered it. Gotcha.
Well, there. See, all you had to do was roll at disadvantage, and you guys would have been hitting.
There it is. I should have realized.
Because that makes that's logic right there.
That's how math works, you guys. If you hadn't been rolling with advantage this whole time, maybe you would have hit.
There you go. Well,
You cut the leg of the orc number 2, and she drops to the ground as you take your faultless longsword and drive it into her while you're still prone.
feeling good about that.
And then you stand up.
Stand up.
You stand up? Okay. And now the goblin boss is going to move over to here.
Come on, really?
No, 19.
Stop killing me.
And then I am going to disengage and move back here.
I think the DM is using loaded dice.
I think so.
I always do. Orc number 3.
Going after the unhittable Ryan.
No, 19.
No longer unhittable.
Gorakul is heavily damaged as the orc chops into him with the great axe.
Roland, shoot something.
With what?
You have a bow and arrow.
I don't though. I have a club.
Alright. Well, I guess I'm gonna go for another rapier attack. Come on. Nice.
Right.
Come on. Big money. That's big money. There we go.
Ryan stabs the orc, taking her down.
At
I
least
let out a
somebody.
hearty chuckle.
Like it.
Pesci.
At least somebody's doing the heavy work while the bugbear sleeps on the ground.
Ryan, you got in your turn.
Oh yes, my bad.
And don't worry, guys, we're just getting through this last round here, and then I'll wrap it up.
Okay. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I hate my choices. Okay. So I guess I'm back to what I was thinking about doing prior. And that is I will healing word Zarash. Because obviously he just did something freaking awesome. So he has to praise him. So yeah, Pesci yells out words of joy as Zarash epically sweeps the leg of this other orc and stands up at the ready, and then also takes a hit from the other guy, giving him 5 HP.
Do you have a problem with that, Mr. LaRusso?
And then you can shoot an arrow.
Yes. DM question.
Yes.
Do I know of any creature or anything that might scare or surprise or anything in Aurochs? Like a mouse?
Aurochs are pretty aggressive, large bulls that don't scare easily. So, like, maybe some kind of, very large, very scary predator, talking cave bear, or better.
Gotcha. Okay. So then no.
Although, everything's kind of afraid of brightly colored vipers and stuff like that. So maybe that could work.
Can I use a cantrip then, or no?
Could work too.
You can use a cantrip, yes.
Okay. If I can use a cantrip, then I can also use Vicious Mockery, but I don't know if I'd like to kind of scare off the orcs a little bit, or at least make it uncontrollable so that the war chief has to spend a turn to regain control of the orcs. Because I don't think my Vicious Mockery is going to be very effective against the war chief. But 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so I'd have to move up 2 spaces.
All right. So no offense, but I'm going to start the 1 minute timer. Go ahead and make your decision.
Okay. I'm going to target the war chief and use Vicious Mockery on him. But I can't target the war chief very easily.
Oh, here.
Okay, I got him.
You got it.
Hooray. Fail, please.
Oof.
Yep, he succeeds. Okay. Alright, well, that's my turn.
Orc number 1 is
As I go
going
back to... Okay.
step over here. Whoa! The
You look
orc
at that.
war chief is
Come here.
going to attack
Come at
you.
me. Come at me. You're gonna miss me. Miss me.
No.
Head. Ah.
And I'll just attack you again, I guess.
Sure. Come on. Try it. Ah!
Oh, and I miss as Zarash gets his faultless greatsword up in time to stop my great axe from chopping him down yet again. I come around here and try to stab you.
Robin? Ryan? I mean, forget it.
Right.
Nobody
Yeah.
can stand Ryan.
All right. I sneak back over by Pesci.
Shoot goblin number 4.
I can't see.
Gorakul is going to
Run.
change into his chalice form. And
Gorakul looks like a cup.
I imagine it for like a living water, like some sort of watery being made of stars.
Sure. Yeah, that works.
Like it's coming from some sort of basin, but now I guess he use healing cure wounds.
Can you get away?
Can I disengage without?
No, you can't disengage once you've cast a spell.
No. Can I move without getting hit?
No. Don't forget to check off your spell slot.
I did.
Okay, it was very brave of you to hang out there, dude. Obviously, you're kind of stuck with me now. See what we can do. All right, so I'm playing Elodie here because Elodie had to leave.
Yeah.
So I am. If I have a level 1 spell slots left, so I'm going to use Ice Knife on the Goblin boss, but I need to somehow untarget the Orc War Chief.
Here, I got it. There
I
you go.
wouldn't do Ice Knife.
Yeah, he doesn't have anyone adjacent to him. If you can, is there another spell she can use that's a
It still
cantrip?
does a lot of damage.
I just the other possibility is I just shoot an arrow at him, but
Like ice knife is still good even without targeting everybody else around it, because the target and everybody else takes the cold damage. So it's 1d10 plus 2d6 damage. So, you know, whether it's the best or not doesn't really matter, because it's still a lot of damage.
let's see what goes. Do I have that targeted? Do I have it targeted? Okay, good.
So you hit and he fails, so go ahead and deal both damages. Boom! Your ice knife slams into the goblin boss's heart. As it starts to freeze over, the ice climbs up his neck and freezes his whole head and torso, and he's just on the ground dead.
All right, that's what we like.
A frozen memorial.
Yes.
Oh,
All right.
time for a wisdom save, since the Goblin 6 just saw his boss froze up.
Nope. And the goblin number 6 shoots an arrow at Gorakul after I get over here so that I can actually target him. Ah! He was trying to stop you from healing everybody. All right, and then that is the end of round 4 and the end of this session. We are going to stop in the middle of battle as you guys are still taking on the Orc War Chief and 2 of the goblins and 1 of his orcs. You're in a very good position and you've done very well against a very tough battle, but there is still a extremely difficult challenge in front of you, taking down the Orc War Chief. And we will find out how you do next time on Dragons of War. I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.
Gaming.